This is something that, people have asked us about. What made you make all the moves that we've made in the last year and a half? Because we made some pretty drastic moves, right? We kind of on a whim decided to get married.
Yep. I knew the minute that you said to me, I've been doing some soul searching and I've been thinking and I realize I'm in love with you. I knew I was going to spend the rest of my life with you at that moment. I did.
Well, and from that moment to when we got married was 3 weeks.
That's exactly right.
So exactly. We kind of on it, and we weren't dating.
Right.
So, it was, okay, so that happened. I had a shift in my career.
Right.
Right after that, we decided to get a vacation home, which is now we spend more time at the vacation home than we do Washington, right? We're in Florida more than Washington.
Right.
We had there've just been a lot. We decided to do this.
We opened a consulting firm in Florida and are now doing a podcast, which is the most fun thing.
Yeah.
I think we could be doing.
We invested in a salon in the Tri-Cities.
That's right.
Like we've done all these things that seem really crazy
while maintaining our businesses in the Tri-Cities.
Right.
I want to point out.
Yes. Yeah. You're still an active lender in the Tri-Cities.
I just got a text from a customer
I'm
just
still
now.
an active realtor in the Tri-Cities, but people have asked, like, how?
Yeah.
How did you do that? Well, the how is all in this. We both know we're not stuck.
Right. That's exactly right.
We can do whatever we want to do.
That's right.
How did we get to that point? Well, hell, I don't know. It's just, I think
years of success in business has given us the confidence to be able to make moves that otherwise we wouldn't be able to make. I think that's the truth.
Well, yeah, and for me, once I kind of, blew up my whole life about 3 years ago, and it was like a breaking out of everything I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And from that moment forward, I can do whatever I want to do.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you can.
Just do it. People say, I wish I could do that. I wish I could live in two places.
And you could.
Yeah, can.
That's right. All you need is will, determination, and the money to do it. You need finances to be able
out
to do
how to make it happen. And I think that's what people don't do. They say, I can't do it. And then they don't, instead of, how can I make that happen?
Right. But that's the key. And you and I, before we even entertained buying a vacation home, knew what our number needed to be able to do that.
Yeah, I said we need this much money in the bank before we do it, and we did.
That's exactly right. So, we set a goal. We met the goal pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then did it. And so when we were able to do it, we had enough of a safety net. So just imagine my business falling apart. Had that happened, it didn't, but had that happened, we would have been okay because we had the money in the bank. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's really exciting that we have strong enough relationships with our business partners back home to be able to do something different and make it work.
Right.
And I got to tell you, if we didn't have those relationships, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So the moral of the story is, if you build your life the way you want it to look, why not make it look that way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Start asking, how do I make that happen?
That's exactly right. And if
I've always wanted to fill in the blank.
Right.
And for me, it's what do I need to do before I die? I use mortality motivation a lot.
And that is part of why we got married, because you got me thinking about that, asking me those questions.
Okay. Yeah, that was...
If you were going to die in 3 years and you knew it, what would you do differently?
Yeah.
Well, that question right now, if you ask me, I do nothing differently.
Right.
And that's because I'm living that right now.
Right.
And I can't...
And I do have a few things I would do.
I can't tell you what I'm missing. What I'm working on now is helping to facilitate your dreams.
Right.
And that's okay. That's important to me. And that's pretty cool. And it's because you got me thinking about that. 2 years ago when we were just friends hiking on the side of Badger Mountain.
Yeah, and I would think of like conversation starters so that we could talk while we were hiking, and that was one. I had just heard it in a podcast, and so I asked you if you knew you only had 3 years to live, what would you do differently with your life? And I want to say that to our listeners. Ask yourself that question.
Okay.
And use it as motivation. Okay, then how do I make that happen?
And if what you want to happen is you want to be the best at what you do, then start doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If what your thing that you want to do is, one thing you've said is you want to do public speaking engagements. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
We opened a consulting firm so that you can do that.
Right.
And that's exciting, right? That's exciting.
Yep.
Whatever you want to do, I say do it. Unless what you want to do is have a Caesar salad with no dressing at Walk-Ons today in Lakeland, Florida.
It's not going to work out for you. I just want to say, public speaking, I've done keynotes in the past. I would love to do more. Yes, I'm available for that booking, and I want to put that out there. And some might say, well, what would you talk about? Right?
Yes. What would you talk about?
Well, there are several things I could talk about, but really the meat and potatoes of every time I've ever spoken in the past and probably in the future, kind of the thread through everything I ever say is it's very motivating. It's very inspiring because I talk a lot about overcoming. Right? How to be in the trenches and put one foot in front of the other until you can see daylight.
That's good.
So and really chasing your dreams and being relentless in the pursuit of those dreams.
And I can tell you this, both of us know exactly how to start over in life because we've both had to do it in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I did mine 5 years ago. You did yours 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we literally started over. And I got to tell you, I had great support along the way. I had great support from my children. I had great support from my former employer at Guild Mortgage, Charles Ney, wonderful supporter. As I was going through my divorce and crushingly depressed, that guy stood by me and helped me through it. When my friends rallied around me and said, okay, we're all doing this together at Envoy, you need to give your notice at Guild.
Yeah.
Guild offered to let us go there.
Right.
I mean, what a good deal.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky that my relationships have sustained me. And you've done similar things, so we can both effectively communicate about how to get through the tough times in your life.
Yeah. And the fun part is that if we're, talking with someone about inspiring them to pursue their dreams, and their dream has something to do with business, then we can come on that end too and coach
exactly
them into it and through it. Hey, we're the full package over here.
If somebody wants to book a keynote address with you, how do they do that?
So the best way, there's two ways. They can reach out by phone, and my phone number is 509-491-2663. So
509-491-2663.
That's the number.
509-491-2663.
Yeah.
For Londa Sherwood Austin.
Or they can email me, Londa@SherwoodAustin.com.
Londa@SherwoodAustin.com. No dashes.
No dashes.
Londa@SherwoodAustin.com.
The business name has no dashes. My legal name has a hyphen.